Monday, November 20th, and we're already in mid-show form. Welcome to the Damon Brew Show. After a rousing Brock Purdy, Brandon Aiyuk connection that brought the 49ers into the win column 27-14 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we have a bit to get into here today before we take a look around at some of the other things that are going on. But man, oh man, I know an awful lot of you already joined Larry Krueger and I for 49ers Wake Up, the biggest day after 49ers show in the market, bar none. When you have a larger audience than both sports talk radio stations combined, both sports talk radio stations should be shitting their pants. 100%. The revolution is here. Thank you very much for being here yourself. There are 200 more of you subscribing than there were at the beginning of the post-game show yesterday. Yesterday, at the beginning of the post-game show, we were sitting at 9,200 subscribers. Today, we are at 9,407, which means keep hitting that subscribe button, keep hitting that like button, and thank you so much. What an interesting week it is about to be, a week where we'll all be gobbling Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday. We will be having 49ers and Seahawks for dessert. And man, oh man, after that comes the big entree. We all know that 49ers and Eagles is out there, but first a division rival before you get there, and then a division rival after you've left Philadelphia. So a huge 3 weeks of football coming up. This was a big 4 weeks of football with a handle your business game, certainly in front of the 49ers. That's what Tampa Bay was representing. That's a decent football team, a team that you should beat at home. Handle your business. Niners handled their business. Absolutely handled that business. Again, so many familiar names and faces. Thank you so much. What an awesome group of people saying good morning, hello, happy Thanksgiving. This is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Brock Purdy, I know why some people can't stand him. Because Brock Purdy is the destroyer of hot takes. If you're in the hot take business, if you're in the I'm looking for attention more than I'm looking to make an actual point based in reality, Brock Purdy has stepped on your talking points, your show, and all of your plans to be rich and famous, probably more than any other athlete out there. Okay? Brock Purdy is a truth, and he is exposing liars and bullshit artists every single time you look up. He really is. He is destroying the importance that NFL draft gurus want to shine all over themselves. Listen to me. I know where all the value is in the draft. Listen to me. Watch me. Pay attention to me. Nobody, and this includes just about every NFL GM, saw Brock Purdy coming. The way that he is playing in this league right now, it isn't good. It's not great. It's transcendent. Brock Purdy is having a transcendent season, putting numbers in places that no other quarterback has ever done before. This is not an exaggeration. This is not an overstatement of fact. It's truth. It's data points of truth. Again, if Brock Purdy can't hit the fictitious hypothetical scenario that you think he needs to clear, all right. He keeps on winning in the NFL. Last time I checked, it's all that really mattered. Not training camp, football games. Football games that count and matter. That's all that counts and matters. And Brock Purdy, in the games that counts and matters, is playing a better brand of football than just about any other person at his position in this league right now. Through Sunday's games, he's first in the NFL in QBR. He's first in passer rating. He's first in yards per attempt. He's third in completion percentage. He's tied for fifth now in touchdown passes. He is sixth in passing yards per game. So when someone is in the top six of every single important category that you could put in front of a quarterback, tell me what he isn't. Like, I dare you. And there are still some people taking that dare. And in taking that dare, you lose credibility. It's like when Clarissa Thompson just decided, I'm going to just make shit up here. You're going to lose credibility. If you can't identify that Brock Purdy is excelling, whether it be just in the vacuum of this offense, this season, or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can only be where you are. You can only play for the team you're on. You can only play with the teammates that are around you. Well, if Patrick Mahomes were in Carolina, Carolina would be in the Super Bowl? No, they wouldn't. The same rules that Purdy has applied to him by hot take artists don't apply to other, quarterbacks that have checked either physical boxes or whatever, or, Brock's never won a Super Bowl. He's also never been to a Super Bowl. So, it's a silly thing to hold against him. It's like me saying, both my kids, they hate whiskey. Well, they're 4 and 2 years old. They've never tried whiskey. So we don't know that. They might take to it like water. Who knows? We'll find out in a few years. But until then, don't tell me that they do or don't like it, or they can or can't drink it, because we haven't even tried it yet. Well, Brock Purdy, you can't win the big game. Well, you can't win a game when you got your arm in a sling. And oh, by the way, the playoff games to get to that big playoff game that the 49ers lost because he got knocked out of it, he won those games. Weren't those playoff games 2 in front of the NFC title game big games? I think they are. I think every playoff game's a big game. As a matter of fact, I insist upon it. So, again, Brock Purdy is the destroyer of hot takes. He's rough on these bitches. He really is. They don't know what to do. They don't know what they're looking at. I would argue that they didn't know what they were looking at with just about everything that they look at. They're just in the hot take business. He's a wrench in the hot take business. And you want to know what the hot take business is? It's lazy. It's lazy. Can you come up with an inflammatory point or question, whether it be based in reality? Yes, anyone could do that. Anyone could do that. Hey, this guy's really, really good. And there's an overwhelming amount of evidence to suggest he's really, really good. What do you think? I think he sucks. Okay, what do you got to back that up with? Well, it's how I feel. It doesn't matter how you feel. What matters is, what did this guy do in the game? In the past 2 weeks against the Jaguars and Buccaneers, Purdy has gone 40 of 51 for an average of 315 yards with 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, and an average over 12 yards per attempt. His 5 interceptions are tied for the second fewest among starters. His 9.7 yards per attempt are the second most through 10 games in NFL history among players with a minimum of 250 attempts. He's keeping company with Boomer Esiason in 1988, Dan Marino in 1984, and Aaron Rodgers in 2011, and all of those names won MVPs in those same years that Brock Purdy is tracking in right now. Still not good enough for you? Okay, well then here we go. Brock Purdy has now registered 4 career games with 3 or more touchdown passes and a passer rating of 140 or higher, which are the most such games by any player in the history of football over his first 2 seasons. So again, maybe Brock's start wasn't good enough for you. It's literally measurably one of the greatest starts that anyone has ever had in their career in the history of the sport of the NFL. So there's that. There's that. What's your opinion? What's your hot take? Oh, it doesn't matter because there's that. I went ahead and I muted my microphone for those sneezes because when I sneeze, it's adorable. And I didn't want to expose how adorable a sneezing Damon was to that. It's like the panda sneeze video where the baby panda on the mama panda's lap sneezes and you're like, oh. My sneezes are adorable. And sometimes they're rather violent. I just wanted to spare all of you. Lore says, I'm tired of people saying that Brock Purdy is not a star quarterback. Look, maybe he is not a star. What he is a starter. He's a starter that is putting up numbers that are kind of dwarfing all other starting quarterbacks. Again, star is subjective. It really is. How do you quantify star power? Commercials starred in, product moved. If we're basing it on average salary, the Brock Purdy is the least star power we've ever seen at the position, basically, as an entrenched starter. The guy's salary is so insignificant, it doesn't even count towards the NFL cap. I mean, it's crazy. And look at what he's done. With a passer rating of 158.3, which is a perfect mark, Purdy, at 23 years old, joins Lamar Jackson and then LA Rams quarterback Jared Goff is the only quarterbacks under the age of 24 in NFL history to attain a perfect passer rating. Purdy became the youngest player in NFL history to post a passer rating of 145 or higher in consecutive games, and the first quarterback to do that in back-to-back games since Drew Brees in 2018. And look, Drew Brees is going to go to the Hall of Fame on his first ballot when he becomes eligible in 2026. Purdy's now got 18 touchdown passes on the season. His 76-yard touchdown pass to Brandon Aiyuk on Sunday was the longest touchdown pass of his career, and it's the longest touchdown pass by an NFL quarterback this season. So again, the guy who has been called Dink and Dunk has thrown the longest touchdown pass this season. Also, he is averaging more yards per attempt than anybody, which is pretty good for someone who only throws underneath the sticks, don't you think? And if you've been watching, you now know that as important as yak yards are, there's a lot more going on than yards after the catch. There are phenomenal reads. There are tight windows being thrown to. Brock Purdy, whatever it is, folks, he's got it. He's absolutely got it. So is that a star? Is that starry enough for some of you? Again, hot take artists. They've already parked their car in the I doubt this guy parking spot, and they refuse to back out of it. And if you can't admit that you're wrong about someone, what you are is Skip Bayless, who still wants to tell you that LeBron might not be good at this. To me, I instantly take that person who does a show like that and remove them eternally from voices I listen to, topics I'm interested in, or shows that I watch. And I suggest you kind of do the same, because there is a dedicated business of misinformation out there that for some reason does robust business. I don't understand why. I guess we love the things that we hate. This guy can play football. What does it mean? What are the 49ers now going to automatically win the Super? No, that's not how football works. No, there is no X plus Y equals Z every single time. The league is too random. The league is too demanding. The league is unforgiving. The entire structure of the league is built to take successful teams and strip their success from them with cap casualties and injuries. It happens all the time. So I don't know where this goes, but I do know where it is. And through this sentence, from the beginning of football season through this sentence, Brock Purdy is measurably, statistically, and in the win-loss column among the best at his position in sports. Brock Purdy, if his name, how about this? If Aaron Rodgers were putting up these numbers with the New York Jets, the Aaron Rodgers is totally awesome, should win the MVP, would be screamed from the mountaintops. I think it's time that Brock Purdy finds himself reinserted into that conversation. And what I love is that Brock couldn't give a rip about that. He couldn't care. This guy is just wired to tune out all the nonsense and is wired to concentrate on what matters most. And look, in a short week ahead of a Thursday nighter against Seattle, that's also going to work in the 49ers' favor. So a quick turnaround. And Brock Purdy will roll up to Seattle, a 6.5-point favorite. I mean, that's the Vegas starting to catch on to the Brock. That means Brock 2.0 is officially underway. Brock with expectations. Expectations coming out of a bye week to say that Brock has met those would be a wild understatement. Again, in his last 2 games, Brock Purdy is 40 of 51, averaging 315 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a yards per attempt that is over a dozen. So, what more do you want? What more would you like? Brock Purdy, destroyer of hot takes, causing doom to you hot take artists. San Bruno Mike, first in today with a super chat. Yesterday's game told me Aiyuk is next level. He breaks and the separation was sick. That 76-yard catch was beautiful. Look, the pass was beautiful. It was right on the money. And Brandon Aiyuk is having himself a hell of a year. Brandon Aiyuk is 10th in the NFL in receiving yards right now, with only being 43rd in targets. That means he is catching and going just about everything, to the point that he's second in the NFL, averaging nearly 20 yards a catch. He's at 19.3 yards per catch. That's nearly 2 first downs every single time he touches it, and it's nearly a first down every single time he touches it for real. 38 of his 43 receptions have gone for first downs. It's remarkable. It's remarkable production. So, everyone wants to jump right to the next conversation. Like, can they spend the money to keep Brandon Aiyuk around this offseason? Yeah, they better damn well do that. I don't think that there will be a moment where Debo isn't overpaid in some way here. That's not a $20 million a year wide receiver, but that's what he's making. And he's got to be more of a gimmick gadget guy to do that. There is a world where you can't be paying Debo more than you're paying Brandon Aiyuk. And the 49ers are about to enter that world. And I think that they have to live in that world, because if you walked up to Brock Purdy and said, hey, we're getting rid of Brandon Aiyuk, Brock would probably say, please don't. Those two guys got something. Purdy and Kittle got something. And hopefully Purdy and Debo continue to find more of that something. Larry had a little bit of a theory that they sort of laid Debo back in this game a tiny bit because he is about to be almost overused on a short week up in Seattle. And maybe there's some truth to that. It'll be revealed, right? But Aiyuk can play, dude. He is a stud, and he's having a really good year. And I don't even want to think about what the 49ers would look like without him. San Bruno Mike, thanks for that super chat. That $5 is going right in that ganja jar, right there. My man. Thank you very much. Haven't seen this name in here before. Dorass. Hello, Dorass. All I hear is good stuff about Brock, and you act like there's nothing but bad stuff said about him. It's your entire show. No, it is not the entire show. But there are people doing YouTube shows. There are people doing national shows that just don't want to admit that they were wrong about this guy. And have you looked at the national media? All they're trying to do is tell you that this is unsustainable. It can't fire up. He doesn't meet all the measurables. There is a huge, I didn't bet on Brock Purdy, so I'm not going to pretend that I like what I'm seeing crowd out there. I'm glad you're avoiding it. Congratulations. That means you are choosing where you get your information from wisely. Keep it up. Keep it up. So, you know what we're going to do? We are going to absolutely get into a little Club Plus a little bit later on. We will return to all these chats, but our second super chat of the day, $1.99. Thank you very much. 2 bones from whatever dude. Appreciate it, whatever dude. Thank you. It is unfortunate. Talanoa Hufanga has been confirmed torn ACL, and that totally sucks. I like Hufanga. He wasn't having a great year, but I'll tell you, Ji'Ayir Brown gives everyone a little something to think about, right? Ji'Ayir Brown, who was the 49ers' first draft choice, happened in the 3rd round last year, safety out of Penn State. We've hardly seen him. Chase Young had more snaps defensively, and he'd only been with the team for about a game and a half than Ji'Ayir Brown did when he took over for Talanoa Hufanga, who left the game with a knee injury. He got burned because he was flat-footed, as Daryl Johnston pointed out. He got burned because he was flat-footed on his very first play defended, and then after that, he played very well. He guarded Mike Evans in the end zone and defended him without a flag on 4th down, and then he ends the game and sends everybody out to the parking lot happy as clams because he has that huge interception in the end zone to wrap it up right there. So I liked what I saw out of Ji'Ayir Brown as someone who was one of the first members of the Talanoa Hufanga bandwagon. It stinks that he's out, but I don't think it changes the overall arc of where this season could go for the 49ers. I don't. And that's not to disrespect Hufanga. It's to tell you that Ji'Ayir Brown is maybe, well, here's the thing. He's not maybe bigger. He's definitely bigger, and he's faster, and he's got better hands. I'm not saying that he's an upgrade over Hufanga. Hufanga's off to a great start at the position. There's nothing about Talanoa Hufanga I don't like. I don't think there's going to be much about Ji'Ayir Brown that we don't like either. So I think it's going to be okay. I think the 49ers are going to be okay there. We'll get back into the chat in just a little bit. Want to thank the show's sponsors, starting with my friend Aiyuk, who has a collection of sandwiches that are among the most delicious sandwiches you're ever going to eat in your entire life. Pick up a Damon Bruce and have me for lunch today. What I am is thinly sliced ribeye. I am also onion rings, provolone, and a little steak sauce. It's like a steakhouse crunch experience. And if you can, I would say you order it and eat it right there. Because if you get it delivered, those onion rings might get just a little soggy, because that's what happens when you deliver something that's fried. If you can eat your Damon Bruce right at an Aiyuk's, it'll be even better than when you get it delivered. But when you get it delivered, you're still going to have a beautiful delivered sandwich to you. Use the Aiyuk's Reward app. You will be happy that you did. You start earning your way towards free sandwiches. I'm in a good mood today. Every 49er fan should be in a good mood today. People who talk about sports for a living should be in a good mood today. It's going to be a great sports week. Warriors play tonight, Thursday night game, then the Eagles game, the biggest game of the year. You can start seeing that when you look out over the horizon. So we got some big games coming up. I love it. This is certainly going to be the week that Shohei Ohtani signs with the Giants. No, I'm not even going to do it. But I'm in a good mood, and I want to thank our newest sponsor to Postgame and Damon, Hughes Orthopedics. I told you I went and got the Kobe knees. It was Dr. Paul Hughes who gave me the Kobe knees. And if you're looking to avoid knee replacement surgery, he's got cellular regenerative therapy that orthopedics don't want you to know much about. Again, there's a lot more money to be made in a knee replacement surgery than there is in cellular regeneration. And big knee replacement tries to quiet forward-thinking doctors like Dr. Paul Hughes. Check out HughesOrthopedics.com. Don't fall for the old shoulder replacement, knee replacement surgery until you talk to Dr. Paul Hughes. He is going to be sponsoring Post Game and Damon for the rest of the season, and we're thrilled to have him aboard. As always, we love Uncle Boys. Go ahead and get yourself a little Inner Richmond delicacy. One of the best cheeseburgers you're going to find in San Francisco. Try the lumpia, get the onion rings. You're going to be awfully happy at Uncle Boys. And we want to remind you that you can also get some of the coolest t-shirts you've ever seen. I'm not wearing a Jax t-shirt today. This is one of my old Ain't I Cool? Look at my kind of Japanese stereo. This isn't a Jax t-shirt. You won't believe how cool vintage stuff you got. And with all the holiday shopping that's about to start, you can go to jaxsf.com and use promo code DamonBruce10. And you can also use promo code Damon if you sign up for a little mybookie.ag to get a deposit match up to $1,000. There's certainly a little bit to bet on tonight. What a Monday night football game to wrap up week 11. Eagles at the Chiefs. Ooh, it's going to be a fun one tonight. So little something to be flipping back to while Warriors are trying to snap now. What do they got, a 6-game losing streak? What are they, 1-6 at home? What are they on, a 5-game losing streak? It's not good. It's not good. Baker Mayfield's a little tougher than you thought, right? Baker Mayfield's a little tougher than you thought. Admit it. That guy's got some squabble in him. He had a very Jimmy G type-ish game yesterday where he would do things that make you realize why the team believes in him, why they regard him as a leader. He plays hard. He plays tough. He's trying his best. And he's making some passes that make you go, hey, there's a reason why this guy's a starting NFL quarterback. And then he uncorks like 4 or 5 passes in a game where you're like, oh my God, how is this guy starting quarterback? I mean, that should have been an interception. The 49ers could have had 4 interceptions yesterday. Got to work on those hands, boys. Got to work on those hands. But it was a day where a little bend don't break defense didn't undo a game where the 49ers pretty much controlled it the entire way through. Pretty much controlled that one the entire way through. There's so much to like in that game. What I didn't like in that game, I got one real point of contention. I didn't like that Brandon Aiyuk didn't take the ball out of bounds at the end of the first half. It cost the Niners another shot towards the end zone. And you don't want to cost your team red zone opportunities going into halftime. That's it. That's my list of complaints. Not bad. Pretty good list. I thought it was a well-officiated game. Certainly no officiating moment really stood out as that was fair or foul or worked in the favor of one team or the other. I thought it was pretty much a down-the-middle game for the officials, and those are rare these days, so I guess we should celebrate them when we see them. And again, my hot take, not that I'm a hot take artist, but my hot take was simply that the loser of the 49er Buccaneers games would not go on to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying the winner of that game is guaranteed to win anything, but the loser, we can eliminate them. Buccaneers aren't going to the Super Bowl. And I just thought that it was if you want to be taken seriously, 49ers, this isn't one that you let off your line. You land this fish. You boat this bad boy. It's a beatable team. You're at home. You're playing good. Win the game. They did. Nothing to complain about. Fred Warner was fantastic in that game. Saw Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, and Chase Young have good games defensively. Dre Greenlaw's out there just chopping dudes in half. It was a good day. Mooney Ward is out there with late in the route pass breakups. He's fallen to the ground with guys, breaking up passes without drawing flags. It was a good day for Mooney Ward. Good day for Diamador Lenore. It's a good day for the 49ers. They handled their business. Again, Baker Mayfield, he's tougher than he is accurate. They did a good day. They did a good job, even though I think they finished combining for 11 catches when it was said and done. They took Chris Godwin and Mike Evans about as far out of that game and making an impact on that game as both those players can be pulled out of a game. So Steve Wilks, who was everybody's whipping post a couple of weeks ago, Steve Wilks has come down from the heavens that were the press box. He has put his feet on the field, and my goodness, all of a sudden, the Niners are playing better. Now, is that Steve Wilks' location involved in that? I don't think so at all. But there is no doubt that this is a better defensive team with Chase Young right now than we saw without Chase Young. Look good, feel good, play good. There's an awful lot of going on with that. And by the way, speaking of Thursday night and the 49ers up in Seattle, the Niners are going to be wearing the all-white throwbacks, baby. Look good, feel good, play good. That's one of the cleanest uniforms in football. I love that look for the Niners. So I like it. I like it a lot. Otis Bird III is all over it, man. Ji'Ayir Brown made some big plays yesterday. That interception in the end zone was huge when the Buccaneers were driving. Look, the Buccaneers could have probably scored there. They would have still needed an onside kick to get the ball back and then another touchdown. But yeah, he just, in a game that could have been shut down with McCaffrey picking up that 4th and 1 late in the game, and he didn't. It was the Buccaneers still figuring out a way to stick around in that game a little bit longer than they deserve to. Give them full credit. Give them full credit for doing it. But yeah, Ji'Ayir Brown turned off the hope spigot with that game-ending interception. And he really turned off the Buccaneers could come back and stun the Niners spigot when he made that play on 4th down in the end zone when he was guarding Mike Evans. I mean, a rookie safety playing his first significant NFL snaps against Mike Evans in the end zone played really well. Can't ask for much more than that. Otis, as always, it's great to see you, brother. Hopefully you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I want to invite everyone. Again, we need to start working like this is a short week. I want to invite everyone Thursday night right back here to the Plus, because postgame and Damon will be starting at the 2-minute warning as we have all year long, and we'll hopefully see you here. There are a lot of people who come around the holidays. They don't have a table to gather around. They don't have friends or family where they are, or they're on the road, which takes them away from friends and family. So come and be a part of this. The Plus has a seat for you at its table Thanksgiving night, and I hope to see you here. I really do. We had a huge audience for post-game yesterday, and hopefully with everybody being at home on Thursday night, primetime game, only game in its time slot, it'll be an even bigger crowd on Thursday night, and we'll all have a piece of pumpkin pie together. A little coffee right there. By the way, you all know how it works on a Monday when we do 49ers Wake Up. Sip of the day happened about 3 hours ago. That was not sip of the day. That is cold, bottom of the cup, little grainy, because I'm a French press guy, coffee. That was a little bitter, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's good to have you here. Thanks so much for helping this grow. By the way, if you new subscribers are already in the room, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It'd mean an awful lot to the algorithm and all the good things that YouTube is providing these days. So, do we talk a little bit about the Golden State Warriors? Golden State Warriors are not representing themselves very well right now. They are 1-6 at home. Houston Rockets come to town. They are 0-4 on the road, so something has got to give. The Warriors basically cannot be Steph Curry, and good luck with that. And that's what they remain. Klay Thompson is just struggling. Andrew Wiggins had a decent game the other night, hit what looked like could be the game-winning 3 in the redo game with Oklahoma City. And then he gives up the Chet Holmgren 3 that sends the game to overtime. Didn't foul. I'm surprised that the code red wasn't called there. I thought that there was an opportunity to foul before the catch. Again, Holmgren caught the ball with his back to the basket. Ball down by his hip. So there's an awful lot of motion that goes into what I think would be determined a shooting motion. Wiggins was guarding, didn't foul. Holmgren hits the three. He had a great game. And the Warriors lose in overtime in a game that they should have won. I mean, what is wrong with this team? What is wrong with some of these Steve Kerr lineups? Dude. More Kuminga, more Moody, less Klay Thompson. I'm sorry. Klay is killing this team. He's killing them. Want more Gary Payton. Want more Chris Paul. I don't want Trace Jackson Davis tweaking his knee down in any G League games and you can't play him. God damn it. Come on. Come on, Steve. Did any of you watch Formula One in the middle of the night from Las Vegas? I didn't. I'm not getting out of bed for auto racing. Forget it. But I saw some of the highlights. I'll say this. It looked like a video game. I mean, it looked great. I don't know what kind of a weekend it really was in Vegas. Again, I wasn't there. It was great if you had deep pockets or were a celebrity. I don't know if the hoi polloi got treated well at all. If you bought your tickets early, you got gouged based on day of market value when prices for everything in Las Vegas, seats in the grandstand, hotel rooms, restaurant bookings, everything crashed. I know that maybe some people went to the race and they really liked it. Other people went to the race and they didn't like it. Everyone in Las Vegas hated it. If you lived in Las Vegas, that race was not a friend to you. If you were a bartender, a server, a casino dealer, you didn't have nearly the crowd in the business that this race promised. Was it a success? Was it a failure? I don't even know. And I don't know if anyone can really determine, yeah, for sure, that was a success or a failure. They certainly put enough infrastructure to where they'll do it again. And maybe the second time around, people will understand its value and what they're walking into a little bit better. So there'll be a better level of expectation. I know some people that were there had a great time. I know other people that were there that said never again. So it's really an individual case-by-case basis. I saw some pretty, they're like, yeah, my stand in the grandstand, you hear the cars. You don't even see them. Yeah. I mean, if you go to an Indianapolis 500, unless you have a seat that is at the top or the bottom of a straightaway, and you can really see the cars coming at you or going away from you, you don't have much to look at but blurs. Like you hear the cars, but you don't really see them. It's just a blur. And that's all you really get. You know, maybe if you're at a turn, a corkscrew or something like that, the cars slow down, you get to appreciate it a little bit more, but otherwise it's vroom, 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 vroom. You ready to get into Club Plus? You ready to knock it out in Club Plus? I hope you are. If you're listening on the podcast today, that continues to grow in an outstanding fashion. Thank you so much for supporting us over there. It's a week where we're going to be thankful for things. Boy, am I thankful of this audience. Early adapters, late adapters, new subscribers, new followers. Thank you all so very, very, very much. And I'm going to tell you, as we move along in what is going to be a week that goes by in a blink, that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Ooh. It's like darker than normal. Darker than normal in here. Is it because this light's down? Hold on, let me see what I do. Is that a little bit better? Is that too harsh? I don't know. I'm going to go backwards. Ooh. Look at me. I'm going to go a little orange today. I'm going a little orange today. I feel good about this. It looks like there's a sun setting on me. All right, what do we got going on here on the chat line? What do we got? Debo is ranked 7th in pay at $23.8 million. What a great job his agent did for him. I mean, here's the thing. Debo is a tone setter for the Niners, and he sets more tones than he catches passes. What's more important? Look, Debo has big games, big weeks where his value is easy to see. There are other games, there are other weeks where his value feels a little hard to find. But if you're a Niner fan, I don't think you're angry that he's on the team. And I don't care what anybody, I think all these guys should make as much money as they possibly can. They play such a dangerous sport that is officially bad for your body, bad for your long-term health. I wish the NFL would just raise its cap by $100 million and pay all these guys more. The Shaw. Always great to see you, Shaw. Is every quarterback a system quarterback until they're forced out of a system? Then the ones that make great plays are called elite? Jimmy would have taken several sacks yesterday. Maybe. Look, I mean, that's the thing. There's no quarterback that is out there drawing up plays in the dirt with bottle caps and rocks and stuff. Everyone is in a system. So holding that against someone, again, is Patrick Mahomes a system quarterback? You know, what does he have that much talent that no matter where you put him, that team's winning a Super Bowl? That's not how football works. Patrick Mahomes isn't playing defense ever. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is showing up and averaging 40 points a game in Carolina. Patrick Mahomes on the Niners, maybe they don't miss a beat. Hey, maybe Brock Purdy on the Chiefs, they don't miss a beat, right? Right? Can we admit that? Don't tell me that the only translatable skills are physical prowess. Brock Purdy, to me, has as many translatable skills as any great athlete who can throw the ball from 35 different arm angles has too. You want to know what Brock's best skill is? What his best attribute is? Moose Johnson was all over this on the broadcast yesterday. It's his eyes. He keeps his eyes downfield, looking through his progression. He isn't getting a little nervous behind a line. He's not looking down. He's not worried about his own knees or his feet. His footwork is impeccable. His eyes are disciplined, and he is constantly looking downfield. Again, at this point in time in his career, I don't know what more you could possibly be looking for than what Brock Purdy is showing it to you. Going back to the Damon Brew sandwich at Ike's, San Bruno Mike, put Damon in your mouth. Indeed. Indeed. RIP Cougar Rebel says, don't forget the Sharks Canucks tonight. No, we've forgotten. I'm sorry. It's hockey season. I stumbled upon that on my TV. I saw Dan Rusanowski just got honored by the NHL. That's good. Dan Rusanowski might be the best thing about the Sharks right now. Otis, thank you, brother. Congrats on the new sponsor. Hey, it's great to have Dr. Hughes in here. It's great to have Dr. Hughes in my knees. My knees feel better. They really do. And they're supposed to keep getting better and better and better as I get further and further away from the procedure that gave me the Kobe knees. I got Mamba knee mentality. Yosarian's right. Uncle Boys is the bomb. Smiley Dan, conducting safety meetings, keeping us all very, very safe. Did anyone see the weekend a pizza shop on Union was burglarized and Uncle Boys John bought a ton of pizzas for them the next day? That's why Uncle Boys has a permanent spot in the circle of love on the Damon Bruce Show. That's local love, baby. That is a community rallying, circling the wagons. Like the Buffalo Bills, nobody circles the wagons. And that's a man who has lived from his own experience, knows how much that sucks, and it's awesome that he's always looking to pay it forward. When karma comes to collect its bill, Uncle Boys will owe karma nothing. One of the things that I like about Uncle Boys so much is John and what an awesome local businessman he is. And again, this is where it all started with Aiyuk too. Local businessman who takes care of other local businesses. And Aiyuk's has grown into something now that is much bigger than just a local business, but he still is operating like he's got one shop and he's got over 100 now. And yes, you want quality, you want a great local business. Yosarian saying, I need to do my Jack's shopping soon. When you go to jackssf.com, use Damon Bruce 10 for 10% off. Erwin says, Damon, I agree. Baker is a little Jimmy-ish, isn't he? He's got some Jimmy tendencies to him. I wonder if they don't think the same thing, R.I.P. Cougar Rebel. Maybe the Cleveland football team should have kept Baker. I mean, I think I think Baker needed to go through the trials and tribulations of failing and falling flat on his face. He got humbled. He got a little working harder, humble nature to him. I think it served him well. He got bounced around the league, and I think that he ended up in the right place. I don't know if Baker would have just worked out to the way that he's working out right now in Cleveland, but now that Deshaun Watson is hurt again, and Deshaun Watson is someone that is like, it's impossible to root for him, Baker Mayfield has become someone that it's very possible to root for. So yeah, when it comes to the quarterback position, the Browns are like eternally fucking that up. What else we got going on? R.I.P. Cougar Rebel. Raiders fan, got that silver and black still coursing through his blood, through his veins. Never mentioned Buccaneers in the Super Bowl in the same sentence. It gives me flashbacks. Yeah, I could see how you'd be triggered by that one. Hold on. I got a little something. Thanksgiving week. The postman in Capitola says, I miss the Name That Fish drop. Why?
Name that fish.
We still got it, baby. We still got it.
Name that fish.
Trout? Salmon?
Oy, oy, oy.
That's what you get, postman in Capitola. T from the 203, bringing up football and pornography. So we got to we need to go ahead and reference that for sure.
Pound it, pound it, pound it, pound it.
Yeah, baby. I believe I believe that Roger might have reached maximum extension.
Maximum
Did you see adult star Kendra Lust get a photo with Roger Goodell? Do you think he knew who it was? Like when she walked, I haven't seen the photo. I don't know the context of the photo. I mean, if that photo was taken in a strip club, I'd say Roger went to tuck a buck. But just some fan walking up to him in the concourse, does he know? I don't know. Hey, if we had a problem with porn stars, why do they get so many clicks? I got no. Look at it this way: that might be the coolest thing Roger Goodell has ever done. So congratulations to him. In the look good, feel good, play good category, Daniel Shabazz says the white throwbacks with the gold helmets are sweet. I wish they'd wear them consistently. I love them. I really do. That all white. I love the 49ers, just straight up home unis, gold pants, red jerseys, and the white and the gold helmets. I also like when they go gold helmets, red jerseys, white pants. I like that too. I like pretty much all of the Niners uniform combinations, as long as they stay away from that black jersey thing that they tried to, like, don't stop trying to make fetch happen. Erwin asking for a smash that like button. Indeed, smash that like button, hit the notify, hit subscribe. It's all good for the brand and the business. Otis Bird saying, excuse me, Otis Bird saying, Damon, I appreciate it, man. Always good to see you too. Hope you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Damon, I'll be at postgame, and Damon, I will be alone on Thanksgiving. No, you won't be. You will be amongst friends on Thanksgiving. Ooh, look at it this way. How about this? Toca la plugada. Toca la plugada is smash that like button. Did I get that right, Sarah? La profesora, you can work on my pronunciation next time we get together. Chef A, pie. I remember Cartman saying, tell him we got punch and pie. Well, we don't have it. Just tell him there'll be punch and pie. This is totally fair. UC Steve says, I Googled passer rating and I still don't understand how you can be perfect with incompletions. Well, so I'm not here to tell you that I understand passer ratings, but basically an incompletion in many instances is a neutral play. An incompletion is not a bad play for a quarterback. It's not. When you have so few incompletions, they're not stacking up. I can see how you can still have a perfect day because you have no negative plays. There were no negative plays from Brock Purdy yesterday beyond the sacks that he took, which aren't factored into a passer rating. But how they come up with it, like how the perfect passer rating is 158.3. Again, this is math. I'll never understand it. Tiger Tank says, how about those Bears on Saturday? Yeah, you kept the axe. Jillian cares about that. She's very, very happy. So Jillian and Mike Silver are maybe the only two people that really care about that in Tiger Tank. Yeah, no, good. Cal kept the axe. And now they can go to the ACC. UC Steve saying, Damon, I can skip Warrior conversation till after the Super Bowl. Not me, man. I love hoops. And I hate what I'm seeing out of this Warriors team in so many instances. It needs to be better than we got Steph dropping 30 and we hope everything else goes right. Joe Schmo asked Damon, how was Fuji's? Was going to watch Formula One, but then I fell asleep. So here's the deal. I was waiting for my man McBride to show up. McBride had a family emergency that prevented him from coming to town this weekend, which totally sucks. And because of a communication snafu, which is me being very nice and just saying McBride forgot to text me that he wasn't coming. While Jillian went to the show with her friends, I was waiting for McBride here at the house, and he never showed. So not only did I miss my buddy, but I miss Lauryn Hill, who apparently can sing like a lark. Jillian was blown away by her vocal range, and it was a good show. Spotty attendance, though. Spotty attendance at the Lauryn Hill show. Probably Chase Center a little bit too big for her. She should have been at like the Warfield or the Regency or something. All right. What else we got going on? Oh, Michelle saying, sexy disco face activated. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Sexy? Ooh. Damon, we need to invest in a strobe light. I mean, I don't need to have a seizure in here. Daniel Shabazz, Damon, your aura is beautiful. Thank you. What's that 311 song? It's like, amber is your energy. Woo. Thank you very much. Vince Vargas on the F1 says it was a success globally. F1 is huge around the world. Locally, not so much. People just wanted to be part of it, be here in the experience and the spectacle. But yeah, when you pay an awful lot more money than you get actual experience or spectacle, that's when people start getting upset. And look, they gotta, like, they seriously got to start that thing before 1 a.m. I know you're trying to prove or please an international audience, but you should also try to grow the sport continually in the United States. That's where Formula One has really exploded in its popularity. And why you don't start that race at like 9 p.m. when the sun is down and you wait until 1 to satisfy an international. Look at it this way. All them Euros are so tits up bonkers over this that they're going to watch it any hour. Serve the continent you're on. That would be my very, jingoistic advice. The Sphere stole the show. That really is remarkable, right? That Sphere is one of the coolest looking things I've ever seen. And everyone who has gone to a show in there has basically said, it is freaking amazing. Like JT the Brick talks for a living. He was speechless coming out of the Sphere. UC Steve is right about this. All 49er fans should be going for Kansas City tonight. Oh, without a doubt. If you are a 49er fan, you are a Chiefs fan on Monday Night Football. No doubt about it. CJ Gray says, look, we should be 8-2. The kicker messed that up. But CJ, here's the thing. He hasn't messed up since. I think you got a pretty good kicker in Moody. I really do. That ship has sailed, man. 8-2 was there, didn't happen. 7-3 is pretty good. No looking backwards, only forwards. All right. This is fair. This is from Tim, who says, I'd like to see Purdy lead an up-tempo, come-from-behind victory. He got them there at the end of the Browns game, but Moody missed the kick. I believe he can get it done. I just want to see him do it. Not only do I want to see him do it, I want to see Kyle Shanahan win under those scenario. But here's the deal. I would also be very happy if they just came out and opened up such big first half leads and had so much red zone success early that there wasn't even a necessity to play come from behind football because they weren't behind in the fourth quarter. Like I'm cool with that too. Come out and dominate a game in such fashion to where you're not worried about playing catch up. And the 49ers have rarely been in that situation since Brock Purdy's become quarterback. My friends always says, R.I.P. Cougar Rebel, good people know good people. See Damon, Ike, an Uncle Boys John. That's very nice. You had to group us all together. It really is. My grandmother used to say, if you want to know somebody, if you want to know about somebody, look at the company they keep. So thank you very much. And I am thrilled to be friends with those guys, much less business partners with those guys. And Michelle, you're right about this. John from Uncle Boys is the most amazing, humble, optimistic, lovely human you're ever going to meet. Go get your Uncle Boys. It's delicious too, by the way. Yeah, there's that. I mean, that's the important thing. Here's the thing. I can love you, but if your cheeseburger sucked, I mean, that's important too, right? I couldn't be in the that food isn't good business. Cheeseburger's awesome. Try the lumpia. Out of absolutely nowhere, Rockin' New Era 84, fish. You mean at the Sphere? Oh, boy, when that happens, I'll be there. I will be there. I need a residency. I need like 3 songs in a row. Oh, fish, as in name that fish. This fish. Where did it go? I lost it.
Name that fish.
I got to get to know my soundboard a little bit better over here. Indeed. Damon, should Fred Warner be considered for defensive MVP? Defensive Player of the Year? Look, Myles Garrett is certainly tracking towards that. Fred Warner could absolutely be in that conversation at the end of the year, though he keeps playing like this. I mean, he's been fantastic. Mike, thank you very much for the question. Yeah, Fred Warner will be considered. Professora helped me. Plugada. Thank you very much. Wasn't me saying plugada. I didn't get that right. I didn't nail that pronunciation. Sprechen Sie plugada. Plugada. Thank you very much, Professora. Kate Scott's happy about the axe. You're right. Kate Scott, Rockin' New Era 84. Kate Scott's happy about the axe. I'm just happy Kate Scott doesn't need to sit around and pretend that James Harden is a nice piece anymore. And there you go. Jillian, very thrilled about her Cal Bears. And she wants to let everyone know, Lauryn Hill was awesome. Man, look. It's like the scene in Coming to America where they're watching Sexual Chocolate and then they cut to the guys in the eye and he's like, that boy can sing. Dude, that girl can sing. Lauryn Hill might be a total diva. She might come out an hour and a half late to every concert. She might want to take all of the credit for herself and push Wyclef and the Fugees into the background. Dude, when you can sing like that, you can command a room. And Lauryn Hill can sing. Chris Medina. 5 bones in the super chat going in the JJ Raider ganja jar. Says, how much West Coast football do national media talking heads actually watch? Seems like many of their takes are uninformed. Ding, 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 ding. You got a lot of guys who watch NFC East football, and that's about it. You got a lot of guys who will take, a highlight package and say, I watched a game because I saw the highlight package. And there is no doubt. Oh, Rockin' New Era 84. Amber is the color of your energy. Whoa. Dude, 311 had one really good album. That blue one with the 311 on, that was good. That came out when I was in college. It was poppin'. On and poppin'? Sure. Michelle says, two people came up to me at my 49ers tailgate yesterday to talk about your show and the Plus Mania video. The real sports nerds, they're paying attention. Keep being you. It's working. Well, thank you, Michelle. Michelle, if Plusers were apostles, I mean, you'd be up there in the inner sanctum of apostles and saints. You have spread the word of the Plus to everyone. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you. On these rocks, I will build my church. And we'll serve whiskey in the church. Look at Yossarian. He's ready to get down. When Fish is at the Sphere, I'll be there. Well, then we'll hook up. I'll tell you what, Yossarian, before that show starts, Smiley Dan, I'm talking to you too. There's a very good chance Smiley Dan finds his way in there. We'll have to have a little safety meeting before that show starts. Make sure everybody is safe. Damon, Warriors winning tonight? Carlos, they damn well better. It's the Houston Rockets. You are right about this. I am coming off of a little bit of a caffeine high. And what else we got going on? That's it. We keep on going. We keep on growing. Yossarian, just keep swimming. That's what we're doing. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. That's my kind of church. Damon, sports, and whiskey. As long as church whiskey is better than church wine. Oh, yeah. No, the church whiskey, especially the Church of Damon Bruce whiskey, will be better. I can promise you that. Thank you all so very, very much for being a part of this. It means so much to me, the family. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button on your way out. It would mean an awful lot to do that. Thank you all for being a part of this. And again, you're not an audience. You're a part of this. You're a community. It's real. I can feel it. And you can feel it too, and you'll certainly feel it when you're back here and we're all having a little Thanksgiving dessert together. Hopefully, maybe even turkey on the 50. Are they going to pull out a table and eat right on the 50-yard line? Well, no team would ever allow that to happen. But the Niners that one year, and we'll never forget because I do have a long memory. Thank you all so very, very much. And please do remember that you don't have to go home on this Monday afternoon. You can't stay here.